Hello, this is Red, and here is my tutorial on the Equilibrator. I have made everything visible and created a demo here so that you can understand and see what's going on. So if we have a rope turret and we have a gun, sometimes we don't want to mount the gun directly at the center of mass. Oftentimes people will, instead of having the gun mounted around center of mass, they'll have a gun mounted off from center mass, and then no-graph the gun. This, unfortunately, creates a lot of problems, especially with light vehicles with large guns, in handling. Having a no-graph gun will make the chassis sort of sway and bounce like it's on the moon, which isn't good. So, instead, we can use an Equilibrator, which lets us get the benefits of having a sort of more rear or front mounted gun relative to its own shape, and at the same time we don't have to deal with the issues of a no-graph gun. So here I have marked and made the rope turret visible the axis of rotation of the gun. Then I fucked up. Fun. I've let it so that it has no integral to simulate the sort of aim you would get from a regular turret. A non-me turret. And as you can see, surprise, surprise, it doesn't like this. It droops. It aims down. It jitters because it's trying to pull itself up. Now E2s that run at a very low or very high frequency, like 30 milliseconds or whatever, may not have that jitter, but they'll still have the general problem. So what we want to do, now that we have our turret, built, is we want to take some of the load off in the muzzle of the gun, and off of the E2. So we're going to create a point around the mass center of rotation. In this case, it's the mass center of this prop. You would do it around the center of your turret. And then the second point is going to be the muzzle of the gun. Point the gun all the way up. And where's point, what is it, point 1? Yeah. We want to get the Z-axis point. I fucked that up. We want to get the Z-axis point to be at the same height as the gun's muzzle, give or take. It doesn't really have to be super precise here, but it should be generally. That's why I didn't have mass center on. So this is point 2. Point 2's Z. Point 1 Z. And see, now we've got this little difference here. You can see the thing, and we take an elastic. We're just going to take an elastic, stretch only, and about 1,000 spring, and about 1 to 2,000 damping. We want a lot of dampening. It's good to have. And you put it between the two. In practice, we would make this width 0. I think that goes without saying, because it looks terrible otherwise. So with this elastic made, you just sort of tweak it until the gun rests relatively level. It doesn't have to be super precise. And this seems to be about good. I'll make it a little bit stronger, but we're certainly close. Well, 700 seems to be good. There we go. Alrighty. As you can see, it's perfectly fine now. I've got to fix that E2. As you can see, even without an integral, the gun aims pretty close to on target. But we can do better. And this is part of why we have an integral. So we have simple aim whatever. Let's re-enable the integral. Integral bounds. 20 PID. Now between the integral and the equilibrator pushing the, raising the muzzle and taking some of the load off of the E2, our gun is now on target. We don't need a no-grav gun now. All we need is an equilibrator and a PID to keep it in line. This means we have a significantly greater amount of flexibility in how we can create our turrets, what we can mount on what, and we don't have to deal with the headaches that come from having a no-grav gun. Alright, and that's pretty much it, mind you. That is it. A fucking elastic is all it is. You couple it with the AIM E2 that can handle the limitations and the issues that come from having a gun which may not be 100% balanced, and everything works out for you fine. It's all good. As always, this is Red. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and found it informative, and in the future I will probably post more. As always, have a good one.